Hey y'all, so the first thing I do in order to achieve this Valentine's Day eye look is that I start off with my eyebrows. So I already fill them in with the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Ebony. And the next thing I do is go in with the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Toast to clean up my brows as well as serve as a base for our eyeshadow look. To clean up the concealer, I actually go in with the eyeliner brush from e.l.f. and I just apply that underneath my brow and blend it all the way down to my eyelid. Now, after blending out my concealer, I'm going to take a translucent powder and just set that into place. Now, I have hooded eyelids, so I have to definitely make sure that my eyeshadows pop as well as stay into place. And to do that, I'm going to take the Kat Von D translucent powder. I'm using this one just because it's a little brighter and I do want my shadows to pop, but usually I'll just use the same translucent powder that I use on my face. Now, to clean up the brow and sharpen the tail of it, I just took my concealer shade in LA Girl Cosmetics, which is Dark Cocoa HD Pro Conceal, and I just, applied that around the edges of my top part of my brow. So I already went ahead and did part of my eye. The rest of the eye look that you saw in the beginning will be completed after I put on my foundation. I do this to prevent any type of fallout that comes from eyeshadow. So for majority of the eye look, I went ahead with the Milani Pure Passion eyeshadow palette. As my base shade, I went ahead and used the shade Spice It Up. So using the Deluxe Crease brush from Real Techniques, I'm just gonna pack this eyeshadow onto my eyelid following my eye shape. And when you're applying eyeshadow, you want to pat it down, kind of like foundation. You don't want to swipe, you want to just, dab and pat. This helps to pack on the color and make sure that you're not wiping away your concealer or just spreading and your eyeshadows too much. Now to deepen up my crease, I'm going to go in with the two darkest shades in the palette, which are Heat Is On and Late Date. I'm going to just take these two shades and start to define my cut crease. The tiny eyeshadow brush I'm using to define my crease is just a random brush that came in my L'Oreal La Nude palette. It actually broke, so yeah, I'm just letting y'all know in case y'all ask me where this came from. It came from a kit, but unless you want to pay like what, $20 for it, just get a brush. Now here's the fun part, cutting the crease. So I'm gonna go in with the NYX glitter primer and take that same eyeshadow brush from e.l.f. and we're gonna just cut the crease along our lid. After cutting the crease, now it's time to apply the shimmery shades within the Pure Passion palette. So I'm going to first start off with the outer part of my eye by my wing, and I'm going to take the darkest glitter shade in the palette, which is Biggest Flirt. In the middle of my crease, I went ahead with the shade Pink Sand and just packed that on. And to pack that on, I actually went in with the eyeshadow brush from e.l.f. And the last shade that I'll be applying from this palette is the Lust and Luminous shade. It's a nice, warm, rose-ish golden shade. Now, as you can see, the shimmery shades are kind of loose and there is a lot of fallout even within the top parts of my eyelid. So I actually went back in with the shades I used as a base, just clean up that crease a little bit more. Now, to achieve that bold magenta shade that I had on top of the cut crease, I actually went ahead with the NYX glitter primer again, and I kind of marked the outline to where I would like to apply these two shades from the NYX Ultimate palette. I just went ahead and mixed this, I guess you could say, fuchsia and neon pink shades, just mixed them together. Forgot to hit record for this part, sorry about that, but I went ahead with the NYX Epic eyeliner in black just to create a wing look. So after I was done putting on the shimmer shades, I went ahead with a makeup wipe and just wiped off all that excess fallout. Now I'm gonna go back and, finish the eye look, but first we're gonna put on my face makeup. So before putting on foundation or concealer, I go and prime my face, and I'm gonna prime my face with the NYX Hydrating Primer. So to conceal dark spots on my face or any hyperpigmentation, I went ahead with the LA Girl Pro Conceal in Dark Cocoa, and I just applied it in those areas and blended it out with my Real Techniques foundation brush. And to blend out any concealer or foundation, I always usually spray my brushes. Foundation I used in this tutorial today is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting foundation and concealer. I use the shade Clove, and this is practically my everyday foundation. Now after blending out my foundation, I go ahead with my concealer to start highlighting my face. And to highlight, I went in with the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Beautiful Bronze. I just take that highlighting shade and apply it underneath my eye as well as my chin to create a brightening effect. Now to set that concealer, I'm going to just go ahead with my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder in the shade Medium Deep and just apply that underneath the areas that I could just concealed. Now to contour, I'm going to go ahead with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Kit in the shade Deep. And I'm just going to take the darkest shade in that palette, which is Rich Earth, and just apply it, near my cheekbones as well as right underneath my lip. To set that cream contour I just applied, I'm going to go ahead with the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette in the shade Dark to Deep. And I'm going to mix the two powder shades. And to make sure my contour isn't too heavy, I went back in with my Laura Mercier powder and just kind of sculpt right underneath where I placed the powder and the cream contour shade. So to blend out everything, I just took a bigger brush. I think this is the powder brush from Real Techniques, and I just, went ahead, made sure the contour and the highlight as well as my foundation all blend into place. Before I apply my highlighter as well as my blush, I'm gonna go ahead and spray my face with the MAC Fix Plus. For blush, I'm going in with the e.l.f. Blush palette in the shade Dark, and I'm gonna take the two darkest shades of the palette and mix them together. To highlight my cheeks, I'm gonna go ahead with the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter in the shade Hustle and Glow. Now, after applying my highlight on my nose, I go back in with the Black Radiance contour kit, and I just take the sculpting shade and I contour my nose. After applying my nose contour, I just went ahead with a big brush from e.l.f. I think it's their blush brush, and I just take that and blend out all the powders that I just applied. Now, as I stated before earlier in the video, we will be going back into the eye look. So I just went ahead and took a white eyeshadow from my BH Cosmetics Take Me to Brazil palette, and I just applied that underneath the wing that I created. Now, in order to create the hearts underneath my eye, I went ahead with the NYX Epic eyeliner and I just started drawing the shapes. All you have to do, honestly, is create the outline of the heart first. Make sure it's the shape you want and then slowly fill it in. You could take your time with this, because especially if you're not, if you're new to makeup or you can't draw, you don't want to like go too big. So I always try to start off as small as possible, and then naturally the shape starts to get bigger. But yes, start off small first and then work your way up is the best way to make sure it comes out right. Now that is it for the eye look. All I did after this was spray my face with some setting spray, and for setting spray I used the Meli Make It Dewy spray. So ignore my face in that clip just now, I'm just dramatic for no reason. So I felt like this wouldn't be a complete Valentine's Day makeup look without some lipstick. So for my lips, I went ahead and mixed the NYX Cosmetics Liquid Suede Cream Lipstick in the shade Cherry Skies, as well as the Milani Color Statement Lipstick Naturally Chic. And that is all. If you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.